Welcome to Borders Rugby Roundup on what was supposed to be the last day of the club season. Well, it was for one team, but certainly not all. Well, we're back here at the Gytes for the match between Peebles and Hamilton in Premier 2. More on that later. But let's go back to Tuesday night first of all, and the Border League clash between Selkirk and Jedforest. After 3 straight wins in the Border League, Selkirk only needed a draw to get through to the final and defend their title. But this was the club's 3rd game in 6 days, and fatigue as well as a growing list of injuries was causing concern. But early on it was the home side who drew first blood, thanks to a well-worked try for Jason Hendry. With Jason's brother Scott out injured, it was Ross Armstrong who took over the kicking duties and landed a great conversion from the touchline. And things went even better when Rory Aglen was on hand to get Selkirk's 2nd try a few minutes later. With the wind advantage, the suitors looked full of running, and they should have added another score when Gavin Craig broke clear with Lee Jones up in support on his left, but he opted to go it alone and the chance was gone. Jed encroached offside though, and it gave Ross Armstrong a simple kick in front of the post to give his team a 15-point cushion. From the stand, it looked like Selkirk took the foot off the gas, and before half-time they presented Jed with a gift of a try. No one laying a finger on the bemused Gary Holborn, and he won't score an easier try than that. With Ewan Scott bagging the extras and the wind getting stronger, there was a feeling that Jed were on the brink of staging an upset. And as we went into the 2nd period, Scott had a chance to score one of his long-range crowd pleasers that's become a bit of a trademark. The kick went wide, but Jed were very much back in the game. The rain was starting to pelt down, and David Gobby was just one of the boys in blue prepared to run the ball at Selkirk and test their defence. And then the heavens really did open, making things extremely unpleasant for all the players, but Selkirk were definitely the more uncomfortable. And when Ross Armstrong tried to clear his lines, Lawrence Patton was up quick to charge the kick down, and Ewan Scott was in the right place at the right time to dive on the ball for a try. And despite the conditions, made no mistake with the conversion to get his team to within a point. The whistle went soon after, and Selkirk had scraped home by the narrowest of margins, booking their place in the Border League final.
At the present moment, we're a team that's playing 2 games a week. Again, that's 4 games in 12 days. It's just not good enough. And the players are actually just patching themselves up at the present moment. But we've got the result. We've got in the Border League final. We just wait and see who we've got now, and just hope we can get these games out of the road, to tell you the truth.
Jed really gave it everything tonight. Proud of the boys, stuck in well, great effort. But unfortunately just couldn't get a chance at a penalty there at the end there, or a drop goal or something. And who knows, could have been a different result there.
After the break, a look at Premier 1 and 2. Taking a look at Premier 1, and Selkirk's 2019 win against Edinburgh Accies meant their long home unbeaten run going back to September the 1st, 2007 is still intact. Hawick were 17-0 up at Mireside against Watsonians but lost 42-22. But relegated Greens did manage a try bonus point. Meanwhile, Melrose scored 41 at Golden Acre, chalking up 6 tries, including a hat-trick for Mark Robertson. But in a 90-point game, they lost 49-41. Well, here at the Gytes, Peebles were pushing for promotion to Premier 1. They were taking on Hamilton, looking to rack up the points. It was time for the annual team photo at the Gytes, and Peebles were pretty confident at the start of this match, expecting to do well against relegated Hamilton. But they were rocked in the first minute with a try by Allan Dodds, brother of Graham from Melrose, and also a penalty put them 8-0 up after 6 minutes. It took almost half an hour for Peebles to get points on the board. A Boltwood penalty was followed on the stroke of half-time by a try from Craig Borthwick. Hamilton scored another penalty, but Dan Boltwood bagged 2 to level things at 11-all. Then Peebles took control with a couple of converted tries, the first from Donald Anderson. That was followed by Donald Sangster going over with a good individual effort. Boltwood kicked another penalty, but Hamilton stopped them from getting their much-needed bonus try, and in fact scored 2 late tries themselves, including this one from Craig Sangster, who was allowed free passage to the line. But Peebles held out to win 28-25, and they must now wait to see if Stumell slip up in their final game at GHA to see if Peebles get a chance at promotion.
We've got a really close run in for promotion now. I think the boys maybe had that in their minds, but thinking we'd already won. But you know, Hamilton, I think they're already down, so they came here with nothing to lose and threw the kitchen sink at us and couldn't deal with it for most of the game.
Also in Premier 2, Kelso were taking on Haddington at Poynter Park, and Laing Speirs saw this one.
Kelso needed 1 point from this game against Haddington to make sure they stayed in Division 2 next year. But the way they played, they could have had 5. They were in control for most of the game, forwards going well, especially in the second half, and Kevin Utterson, as usual, kicked a lot of goals for them. It was an interesting performance by Kelso. They've got 3 games left. They should pick up some more points. In the other games in Premier 2, Jed won 2014 to send Musselburgh tumbling to Premier 3, while Gala lost heavily to champions Dundee High School FP on the road. In the National League 1, heavy losses for Langham and Berwick, but in Division 2, Hoyt YM's convincing win over Caithness keeps their slim promotion hopes alive, but also ensures they've won the Scottish Hydroelectric Trophy in the Borders Rugby rankings as the Borders' most successful team this season. In the East League Division 1, Hoyt Lindeen won again, 15 out of 15 for them, while Hoyt Harlequins beat Duns in the Borders Derby. In East 2, there were wins for Earlston, St Boswells and Walkerburn. Well, that's it for today. Join us again next week for Borders Rugby Roundup.